Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 2 of Adeptus Podcastus, a Warhammer 40,000 podcast where three nerds chat nonsense for as long as we feel like. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis, and all going well, you'll be watching this on my channel. And joining me, as always, are Remleiz from 40k Theories and EgoQueenAlexis. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hey everybody, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love me. I know you do. Anyway.
Indeed. So, we're going to try something. I haven't actually told the other two this because I've got control of the editor this week. We had some queries regarding the music over the last podcast and whether we should have it or not. And I've taken the executive decision that for this podcast, we're going to try it without the music. So you'll have heard the music through the intro, which we'll have just played, and you won't be hearing music now. I'm going to try it as an experiment. If it doesn't work, let me know in the comments and we'll see what happens, because a lot of people were saying too much music, too loud, take it out, turn it down, put something else in. So I thought, you know what, let's try it without and let's see what happens. So that's what we're doing. That's my choice. So don't shout at the other two for that. Shout at me. So I think I've pretty much rambled long enough to do an intro. So how are we all this Friday evening / afternoon, depending on where we live?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good myself, actually. Even though I keep getting loads of comments now asking me to do my video on can the Emperor be made out of cyberdongs.
Your fault.
Don't blame me, I didn't write the bloody script.
You could have said no.
Yes, but it was funny at the time.
True. Yes, for anyone who somehow has been living under a rock and doesn't know, Remleiz got a role in If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, episode 24, I think. 24.
That's correct,
right.
Yeah.
And you should go check that out, because, well, one, if you're not watching text-to-speech, what are you doing with your life? But it is very good fun, and you get to see a cameo from one of your hosts. So it's... And he didn't tell us about it either, so it was just like, oh, text-to-speech is out, I'm going to watch that. Oh, crap, Remleiz is in it.
It was amazing.
It was quite...
And a whole bunch of people seem to think I'm Zinch for some reason, even though I'm not. Or am I? Dun dun dun.
No, you totally are.
You don't voice Zinch, or at least you don't as far as I was aware.
No, I don't voice Zinch, that's someone else, but whose name escapes me at this moment, and I apologise.
So yes, you should go and watch that. Not all of us are so lucky as to be offered a role in the most successful YouTube series, or probably the most successful 40k thing outside of the tabletop game.
Yes, actually.
It was,
as far as I'm aware.
Well, Alpha's actually got, as far as I'm aware, the third biggest Warhammer channel on YouTube. The only two he's actually behind are Warhammer's own official channel and Mini War Gaming, and that's it.
I knew it behind NWG. I didn't know if Warhammer TV would outrank it, because that's quite a new channel. Yeah,
because Warhammer TV's got about just over 100,000 subs.
And Alpha's on about 85?
No, he's on about 93 now.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's time of recording.
Yeah, which is pretty much the end of September. It's the 30th of September today. That will be in the description as well. So we're planning to basically just record and upload every other week. So any news that happens between us recording this at the end of September and the release in about a week's time, then we don't know about it.
Let the genes
as I found. Yeah.
Oh my god! You know how much I'm hearing about that now, because I did the video like right after they came out, like when we just got the 3 pictures, and now everybody is telling me like all their stat lines and everything, and I'm like, I know, but that video was made a week ago.
Yeah, because I remember I sat back and watched the podcast again. It was like, we were talking about, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Gene Stealer Cult Codex? And then like 2 days later, bang, Gene Stealer Cult Codex.
Well, that's because, GW listens exclusively to us.
Of course they do.
It makes sense, don't think about it.
Yeah, but let's do the news. Let's, to quote Top Gear, let's do the news. I'm going to do a James May moment, because I always wanted to do that.
So who's Jeremy Clarkson out of us three then?
I
suppose that'll be me being the oldest.
I don't watch the show, so I'm really confused.
Basically, Top Gear was a really popular car show on British TV, and it was hosted by Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, who basically made the show work, and they were all absolute cocking idiots, but they were hilarious at the same time, and everybody loved it. And then one of them got sacked for punching a producer, if I remember correctly, and now they've got their own show on Amazon about to come out.
Yeah.
About punching producers? Sounds awesome.
No, another car show.
It's quite funny. Sorry, carry on.
I think we have that show here.
Yeah, you do. Different team, but yeah, you have a Top Gear.
Yeah.
It's funny when you tell a lot of Americans that they've been replaced by like Matt LeBlanc and Chris Evans, and they say, "Oh, Chris Evans, the guy who played Captain America." It's like, no.
The radio DJ.
That's the most polite thing you could say about him.
If one of us is going to keep it PC, it's going to be me. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not the one devoted to Slanesh.
No, and Michael's channel is more G-rated than ours.
Well, no, it's just that I don't swear as much. I actually got told in a comment on one of my things, like, it really winds me up when people get annoyed about swearing because I asked you not to keep your swearing down during the Chaos God theory.
Which was fair enough because it was your video, so.
Yeah, it was basically, I got triggered because not triggered, but I got annoyed because you asked Remleiz not to swear. Of course, those rules do not apply on this podcast because, quite frankly, it's so ad-lib that if one of us ends up going off and swearing, then there's nothing we can do about it.
It'll probably just evolve into junk and squats again.
Quite possibly. Anyway,
no, I've really been trying to cut back on my swearing on my channel. I can't.
The thing is, was we started this call, the second thing you said was a swear word. Very much the second thing you said. I hate my effing PC.
Sorry. No, but I have an outtake folder. Like, I named it fuck ups. Okay? It has currently 300 mess ups in it.
Over how many videos?
4.
17?
It's only a casual 15 cock-ups a video. Maybe a bit more.
It's mostly from Cultish Chan because everybody wants me to do that stupid voice that does not record well, does not sound good. No one will understand that's a casual viewer, and most of my viewers are casual 40K fans. And I don't feel like sitting back and editing over the entirety of the video when I don't have proper editing software.
In fairness, the only person I've ever seen pull off that voice was Monkey, the guy who does the Filthy Frank impressions and voiced Mortarion. Well, he's going to voice Mortarion in TTS.
He was Did he do Typhus?
I think he did, yeah.
I mean, I could do the voice. It's just, it's such a strain on like my throat that I can't keep it up for an entire video. Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
And
yeah, I'm really bad at voice. Actually, I got approached by a guy asking if I wanted a narrator / voice actor, and then like, nah, I'm all right. And then I did the Abaddon episode where I decided to quote Abaddon, Horus, and Fabius Bile. I was like, I am terrible at voice acting.
I hate my voice. To be honest, I hate my voice.
Ah, well. Anyway, doing the news as we originally intended to do. You see, this is what's going to happen, is that we get very distracted very fast, very often.
I'm also sitting here building Death Guard.
Yeah, I'm building it. Yeah,
not Death Guard. The Dark Angel guys. Not the Dark Angels. The Blood Angel guys.
Oh, God.
Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Blood Ravens, Raven Guard.
The Blood Angel Death Company. There we go.
Death Company, there we go. Yeah, I'm building Arachon number 7 out of my 8. I've got an update coming about that now. Actually, already out by this point. But yes, doing the news. Well, 1, Gene Stealer cults. Obviously, that happened.
Oh my God. That order I put in is ridiculous.
How much have we spent?
Do you want to know?
Okay, so every week I make $320 at my job.
Yep.
That's how much I put in.
Oh, an entire week's wages on Gene Stealer cult.
Yes.
I don't think I actually needed 320 quid to build my Tau army. Actually, $320 is about 1.4, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I'll go away and do the maths in a minute. But yeah, I probably needed a similar amount just to build my Tau army. What do you reckon's the new transport then? Because you wanted the Limb up.
The Goliath.
It's the Gorgon. The Gorgon and the Goliath or something like that, yeah. And they're really, really good models. Like, they look amazing.
Yes, but none of them are the limousines. I want my
that's
limousine.
not going to stop me from converting a limousine.
Touche.
I'm going to take the Gorgon. I'm going to put Gorgon, whatever it is. I'm going to put the bits on top of a limousine toy and call it a transport. And no one's going to argue with me because I'm, well, one, really cute, and two, that's accurate.
Yeah, and they've also released a bunch of Astra Militarum Imperial Guard Genestealer Cult upgrade sprues, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
My only concern, I think that's really cool, really thematic. I wish they'd do it for flipping Gay Vesa as well. But I'm just worried that they're going to out...
Didn't Fordred used to do Guvesa kits?
I'll have to look.
They did release something like that, but they still didn't put the guard regiments in any of the Tau books yet.
Then they didn't do it for one of the Imperial Armor books, though.
They could be. I'm not that up on Forge World, I'm afraid.
There was one that was Imperial Guard versus Tau, and I think the option to use the Guvesa in that. I could be wrong, though.
I can check. Hang on, I have the book. Or am I lying? It might not be on this computer.
I've got a bunch of Imperial Armor books, actually. Let me have a dig. Because what I was trying to say is that I'm a bit concerned that if they overdo the guard sprues, they're going to basically able to out-guard the guard.
I'm okay with that. I don't have the book.
But if they increase the points in proportion, then that'd be fair and balanced.
Well, it's also...
Taros,
the formations of the guard are what really put them as their own. They also have the orders, which are really good, and they have psychers that are all really good. The guard is a very, very, very solid standalone army.
And a shit ton of
tanks. It's also a very, very, very powerful ally.
True. It's just something that was on my mind when they said, "Oh, there's Russ upgrade kits and Cadian upgrade kits and Chimera upgrade kits." I was like,
oh my god. So I gotta tell you guys about this.
Go on.
So I was excited when I found out that the Lehman Russ or Lemon Russ or whatever the fuck you want to call it is in the codex. Whoops, I swore. Anyway. So I have 3 Lehman Russes, but I looted them for my orcs. So I'm gonna have looted Lehman Russes for my Genestealer cult.
Okay, winning.
And on top of the tank is going to be 3 magnetized guys that can sit on top, and it's going to have a Genestealer pulling against the guardsman and an orc pulling against the guardsman on the other side.
Lol.
Yes, that's cool. I rate highly.
I'll tell you what Genestealer model I do want to see redone. I don't know if any of you guys remember back in the pre-second edition but post-Rogue Trader weird transitional period. You had the Genestealer Patriarch on the throne with the
you mentioned this last time.
Yeah, I want an updated version of that.
Yes. My god.
You probably could do it. I mean, you take the I don't know if you could, the throne from Space Hulk and stuff.
You can't really cut the guy out of it.
I didn't know if the guy went onto the throne. I didn't know if the throne was a separate piece.
I suppose you could always take the throne from the Fyodor Karamazov figure, though.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, I just looked. Gay Vesa is a thing. It's in Imperial Armor 3, the Taros campaign.
Ah, okay.
25 points for 6. Flak armor allows conquest combat weapon and a rule called Death to Traitors, which gives them... Imperium gets preferred enemy against them.
Seems fair.
Yeah, it does. And
thematic.
You can give them pulse rifles for 3 points, so it's, what is it, about... Wow, they're actually dirt cheap. They're like 7 points a model for a Garzan with a pulse rifle. And then 8 points with a
ballistic skill as a fire warrior.
PS3, yeah. Yeah, interesting.
How many points of Tau do you have?
Well, I'm 2 off finishing the 8, and that's 1,500 alone. I could probably, now that I've got my Riptide done, I could probably get to 2k in a push. Particularly once I've got Arachon done, I'll be able to get to 2k, I'm pretty sure. At the minute, I'm probably about 1750.
Oh, that's it?
I've only been playing them for 6 months, less.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
My first... Yeah.
I haven't played my Tau yet, and I have about 4,000 points.
Yikes.
In all fairness, they were my former roommates. And I'm kind of just hanging on to them until he asks for them back. And I refuse to play them because it's Tau Gunline, and I hate Tau Gunline.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm playing Farsight Battlesuit Face Rush.
Like, at least it isn't Devilfish Cheese Warrior.
That got nerfed, I think. I think they nerfed the fish wall in some way.
Yes, they did.
Oh, they did. Yes. In other news, have any of you seen the rumor of Prospero and Custodes?
Yes, I have. I've actually seen the White Dwarf cover of it as well.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I have the picture saved on my computer of it already.
Which also lends more credence to the plastic as a Caraman model.
Yes, it does. Plastic Thousand Suns Sorcerer. It looks like Araman, but I'm not going to call him Araman until he comes out.
It looks like the picture of Araman in the Visions of Heresy book, so I'm going to assume it's Araman because it looks exactly like him.
Right, okay. And as if that wasn't enough for you Thousand Suns Prospero lovers, Leman Russ was announced.
Whatever.
Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of Russ, but okay, that model is quite sexy. I like that model.
I don't know, I still prefer the Rogue Trader one. With his two wolves on the cavalry base.
Yes.
Which look derpy as fuck.
See, I used to be a fan of the Space Wolves back when they were Vikings.
Yep.
Now they're just wolfity wolf, and I can't stand the book because I read it and I just take out the word wolf and it's just Battle Company, Tactical Squad, Long Fang, and it's just like, why did they name these guys different if they don't have different roles?
Because Space Marines.
Like, I get with the Dark Angels, you have the Death Company and the Raven Wing. They're very unique.
Death Company's Blood
and
Angels.
I like that. The Blood Angels have the Death Company, which is very unique. But everything aside from the Thunderwolf Cavalry, which has the worst fluff in the entire game, and I don't care what anybody says, it is the worst fluff for anything ever. I would take Matt Ward's best friend battle over the fluff for the Thunderwolf Cavalry.
Are you suggesting that the Thunderwolf Cavalry fluff is somehow worse than the Necrons and the Blood Angels becoming best friends over fighting Tyranids?
Yes.
Oh dear God.
I will say, in defense of the Space Wolves fluff for a second, their Blood Claws are their scouts, and their scouts are their veterans. Because the Wolf Scouts are not the newbies, the Blood Claws are the newbies. They stick them straight into power armor immediately. So, same.
Hey guys, let's waste a shitload of power armor.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. We'll do that.
Hey, you're a very experienced, super freaking Marine. We'll just put you in scout armor because you know what?
That's not how it works.
It's because they're brooding loners and angsty.
Yep.
Yeah.
They basically got given Raven Guard GNC by mistake.
Whoopsie-daisy. You guys are more stable.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They're the ones that don't join the YIF.
Yeah. They haven't been able to afford their fursuits.
Or something like that anyway, yeah.
Oh, poor Michael. He was just like, I don't want to hear this.
It's fine. I'm a bit tired is all. It's nothing to worry about.
In fairness, we're not talking about ponies, in fairness.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's been banned by Alexis. Probably best we don't.
Exactly, so.
Yeah.
But I will admit the Leman Russ model does actually look good. As much as I hate the Space Wolves, it looks good.
What I don't understand is that it's pretty much got the same running pose as the new Khan the Betrayer, and everyone's saying the new Khan the Betrayer model looks like shit because of it, even though it doesn't.
I like the new Khan the Betrayer model.
Yeah, he looks like a smooth criminal.
He looks like sprinting forward and lopping the head of someone while shooting the next guy in the face. And loads of people saying he looks like he's falling over. It's like, do you actually know what running looks like when you've got a massive axe in your hand?
If you think Khan's falling over, look at Angron. How far forward is he leaning?
Quite.
Look at any assault marine.
True.
Like, why would they be standing upright? All of them are charging forward. They're all leaning forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just the laws of physics in terms of getting them to stand on their bases, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's why you put a penny under their base. They don't fall over.
Yeah, to be fair, I've got a piece of blue tack on the back corner of one of my Dark Elf standard bearers, just my Corsair standard bearer, just because he falls over all the time.
Oh my god. So when I started playing Orcs, they had the metal knobs, not the plastic ones yet.
Yeah.
That Wa banner is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh god.
I have 2 quarters on his base to keep him up.
Sheesh kebab.
Are these ones from 3rd edition?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
because it's the guy who's in the 4th edition codex. They never actually put a war banner in the plastic knobs kit, and I'll never understand why.
Yeah, I've wondered that one too.
Like, you know, you've given this piece of war gear that's actually essential to run the Council of War. Like, you have to actually take the bloody thing. Oh, wait, it's not in the box. Never mind.
That's something that's actually always bugged me. Even Forge World can be accused of that. Like, look at their Grave Wardens. It's like all of them have grenade launchers. Why the fuck do they have storm bolters? I don't want the storm bolters. I want the grenade launchers.
Isn't it like a combo kit, though?
No. It's strictly the storm bolter.
Right. That's bad. Right. Moving on to a segment that I wanted to introduce, and I'm going to push it again now because I can. Comments. This is something that I'm really keen on, is getting people involved with the podcast, because obviously we're not streaming this. None of us are quite capable of streaming it. And the best way to get your input into the podcast is the comment section. So what I'm going to encourage is either now or at the end of the podcast, or maybe the next time you watch it and you're having a cup of tea, leave a comment.
You guys are so British.
I don't drink tea either, but...
No, do I.
I do.
Right. So the Brits don't drink tea and the American does. And we're accused of being... whatever. Anyway.
Hey, in all fairness, we throw it into the harbor first.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Continue.
It's fine. Anyway, so I'm going to push this again. The comments Q&A. So go in the comments and leave a question that you would like us to answer on the podcast. It could be a question about one of our theories that Remleiz or I have done. Could be a lore question. Could be a tactical question, at which point we'll probably go straight to Alexis, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I got you beat on tactics.
Yeah, and I can't say I can beat either of you on anything, because everything I do lore-wise, I'm beaten by somebody, and theory-wise, well, I'm competing with 40k theories. Nope.
Though I will say this, I'm not going to answer if the Emperor King made out of cyber dogs.
Yes.
At least not on this. Maybe in future, if I'm drunk enough. But like with my Christmas special, when I started singing the 12 Days of Christmas 40k style, and I was so pissed out of my skull, I don't even remember recording it.
Oh dear. Yes, so apart from that, you are welcome to leave your questions in the comments. There was one that came in from last time. Someone actually put 2 questions in, and one of them was actually, I thought, was quite interesting, and I've got one from my comments as well, but I'll come back to that. I think the question was, and quote me if I'm wrong, Rexis, or Remleiz, sorry, what would it take to unfuck the warp?
A whole lot of black tar Mexican heroin. No, but seriously.
Ooh. Can I answer first? And then you answer with the correct answer?
Yes, we have Cultist Chan. Cultist Chan should answer this question.
Okay. Well, not as Cultist Chan, because I'm not doing that voice, because my voice is all sorts of fucked up right now. And no, it's not for that reason. Anyway, the birth of a new god might be enough to unfuck the warp. If one of the Chaos Gods dies and the other 3 Chaos Gods lose enough power, the warp could calm down enough. And that is assuming that all of the gods are sort of half weakened or dead.
I see where you're coming from that, because at least if text-to-speech law is correct, which it may or may not be, depends on what your class is canon these days, the birth of Slaanesh sort of calmed the warp down a lot.
Yes, so I believe once the Eldar God, the Emperor, ascends, and yes, he is an Eldar God, I believe so anyway, once he ascends to godhood and then recreates himself, he's going to significantly cut down the other Chaos Gods to the point where they're weakened, but they can't actually be destroyed because Chaos can't be destroyed. It is always there and it always will be there. But Correct. He can significantly cut its power.
Unless Singe gets his staff back.
Yes.
The other problem with that, and this is the reason why the great game can never be won, if one of the 4 has a big power boost through X, Y, or Z, yeah, it exerts dominance over the other 3 for a bit, although it could be always and also never, because this is the warp, because time doesn't work in the warp, until the other 3 get together, have a bit of a chit-chat, and say, right, we're taking this guy down a peg, take him down a peg, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, because that's exactly what happened to Zinj, because Zinj at one time was the most powerful, and the other guys decided to... When they went to his house, knocked on his door and said, we're going to knock the living crap out of you. He's like, alright, I'll get rid of my staff, there you go, I'm not the most powerful anymore. And he's like, alright, we'll leave you to it, and he's gone to his couple of blue horrors, get the staff back, would you?
Oh, is that the Blue Scribes?
Yeah, they're searching for his staff.
Yeah, but then you also have, like, even more powerful Chaos Gods like Gork and Mork.
They're not Chaos Gods, really, though.
Well, I always say Chaos Gods, but more powerful gods like Gork and Mork.
Well, I mean, the Eldar race and the Eldar gods were the most powerful in existence, and then they screwed themselves over to the point where Slaanesh killed them. But yeah, but that's the point. Like, Gork and Mork are, yes, very powerful because they can't be defeated, because orcs never lose a fight or anything like that. But if it came to it, and they got complacent because they just got, oh yeah, we could beat Khorne, we can kill Khorne in 5 minutes. They'll get sloppy, and something will go wrong.
I like to think Gork and Mork are just too busy beating the shit out of each other. Because orcs love to fight, so they're just doing that, and Chaos was just looking at them out the window going, what next door doing? Oh, they're having a fight again. So, oh, bloody orcs.
Yeah, they're just like rolling around the universe. Just beating the shit out of each other. I would love that. No, but like, I honestly see the Satan as the weakest of the gods.
Even our gods, yeah.
Well, technically, they're not really gods, though, are they? They're just like really powerful creatures, because they existed in the material universe, not in the immaterium. So, did they even classify as gods? They were just extremely powerful creatures. They don't count as gods. They were just extremely powerful creatures that were given bodies by the Necrontyr. Necrontyr was like, oh, souls are so the Catan then went, souls are quite tasty and better than sun radiation, we're going to eat them instead.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Although, okay, if you guys ever get a chance, read the Rogue Trader, like, orc fluff. They talk about why the orcs aren't afraid of death. And it's because the Nightbringer, like, went to all races, and it was actually Gork and Mork that beat him so bad that he exploded into shards. And, like, that's why the orcs don't fear death and every other race does.
Because Gork and Mork literally beat death into a pulp.
Yes, well, they beat him until he exploded. And in all honesty, it makes sense with the fluff of the Eldar. The orcs were used as the front line against the Necrotyr. So it would make sense that they would be like, hey, orcs, go get them.
And so they did. Yeah, that's actually quite feasible. I thought about going back to the original question, I thought about, like, what would it take? And the problem, as well, I see it, is that the Chaos Gods are made of what the Warp's made of. And the Warp... The problem is, like, even if you could, like, neuter the Chaos Gods, because Warp stuff just coalesces into entities with conscience and sentience, even if you could knock those guys down, maybe even hell destroy them in some way, it wouldn't destroy them forever. They'd just
something would come and take its place to fill the void.
Well, here's how I always thought of the warp. The warp is like a pool of very, very, very cold water. And the Chaos Gods are simply ice cubes in that water. Like, yeah, if you destroy them, they'll melt, they'll break apart, they'll become part of the water, and then they'll freeze up and another one will take its place.
I like that analogy. I like that analogy.
Because all it is the collective nature of the warp. It's what creates the gods.
Yeah, so to destroy the gods, you have to destroy the warp, and to destroy the warp, you have to destroy everything that creates the warp, which is everything.
Well, there is enough.
Essentially, create a massive barrier between the material universe and the warp in such a way that there can be no overlap. Even if it's like destroying the minds of psychers and just somehow sealing every single warp pole, like the Eye of Terror or the Maelstrom and stuff like that, that might have some effect.
Maybe.
But even then, it takes one guy with an idea to recreate that universe. You have to get rid of conscious thought.
Not necessarily, because before the old ones war with the Catan, the warp itself was very calm and didn't actually have any demonic entities, and they were the most advanced race in, as far as we were in the universe.
So I can only assume, therefore, that because the old ones used the webway and stuff, they didn't draw on the warp for their powers, and so it didn't affect the warp in some way?
Exactly.
The warp did it.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Back to that.
Yeah, I'm quite happy for that one to be the catchphrase.
Yes, I'm glad that one is hashtag the warp did it.
Indeed.
So no hashtag hive ship sex then.
No!
That's already started infecting my comments, and I wasn't. It was only on your bloody channel. I just. Oh, Remleiz.
I got that as a private message.
What?
I get a lot of strange private messages.
Did someone send a picture or something?
No, because if they did, I would definitely share it on this. I would not hesitate to share it on this.
Good point.
I'd be like, hey, look how disgusting this is. And you guys, I probably wouldn't show it on the podcast like I wouldn't show it in the video, but I'd definitely show it to both of you.
Yes, and it would end up on DeviantArt, and it would be found, and then it would be tweeted at us 1,000 million times.
Mind you, Alexis, you remember I showed you that little snippet of that fan fiction that I found of Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus.
You know what? That was actually very well written.
For what it was. Yes.
But I also like Yowie, so... poor innocent minds. I'm corrupting them.
Don't worry.
I'm doing Slanesh's work.
To be fair, if you live in the Grimdark at all, like you become immersed in the Grimdark universe, you're too far gone to be saved anyway, so it's not a problem.
That being said, someone showed me a picture of an armless Abaddon having sex with the Emperor's corpse going, woo, like Ric Flair. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, that's the reason he wants to do the Black Crusades and get to Terra so he can do that. Fuck his granddad.
Anyway, this is something that I got asked in my comments, actually. I did a theory, which I'm sure most people who are subscribers to this channel will have watched, about if everybody switched sides, like the 9 loyalist traitors, loyalist Primarchs became the traitors.
I actually really loved that video.
Well, the reason that I bring it up is because someone asked me to put it to YouTube. And I remember I discussed it with you two before I went and recorded it after we did the last podcast, but I was asked to put it to you, and so I'm putting it to you.
Okay.
So, in the event that the Loyalists were the traitors, and vice versa, which 4 Primarchs follow the Chaos Gods, who's the War Master, and who wins?
In regards to War Master, I would have suggested it would be Lionel Johnson, because he actually was one of the main candidates. I know Rogal Dawn in real timeline did get made War Master, but that was like as a contingency plan last minute. Oh shit, I need a new War Master, and he was like the only one around. But I would have Lionel Johnson as the War Master.
Okay.
Following Khorne would be Leman Russ, because as far as tactics go, he was his legion was closest in regards to the World Eaters, except without the psychic surgery.
Close combat, face rush, and hate psychers.
Exactly. For Slaanesh, I would have had Sanguinius fall, because, like Fulgrim, Sanguinius and his legion have a real respect for art and beauty and stuff like that. That's because
that's where I'm going to say I have a different opinion on that.
All right.
But you continue, and then I'll get to mine.
Okay.
And the reason I picked again for Slaanesh, because I don't know if you guys remember Captain Tycho of the Blood Angels. His face was disfigured by an Orc war boy, and they made him a golden mask, and Blood Angels thought, it's a fate worse than death to be disfigured, to lose his beauty. He just seems like the closest parallel to Fulgrim, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, when I did it, Sanguinius was my secondary choice behind. I went for Guilliman on his military efficiency perfectionist type of vibe. So, yeah, fair point. I think the reason I just avoided putting Sanguinius is because he could have so easily gone to Khorne, because Red Thirst and Black Rage. He could have so easily gone to Tzeentch, because psychic potential. He could have gone to Nurgle, which he did in the Dornian Heresy fanfiction, because blood-sucking vampires or something. And as you said, he could have gone to Slaanesh. So I just thought, he embodies so much of all of them. Well, Chaos Undivided. Warmaster. But yes, continue. Sorry.
For Nurgle, I probably would have had Ferrus Manus, actually.
Yes.
And the reason for that is, we know the Iron Hands, they replace their body parts with machinery because, the flesh is weak.
Yep.
And they might have potentially enter a pact with Nurgle to basically, strengthen the flesh by making it corrupted and bloated and immune to disease, because despite how diseased, Nurgle worshippers are, they tend to be immune to pain, immune to disease. Their flesh is now stronger, even though it looks horribly distended and disgusting. And it's just an awesome visual to have decaying flesh and all this rusting metal in that as well. It's just an awesome visual. The
corrosion aesthetic was something I really liked. And for Tzeentch?
Tzeentch is the hard one, because really out of all of them, out of all the Primarchs, the only one that really fell to it would have been Magnus, because he was focusing on knowledge and sorcery in that. The only two I could potentially think of would be Jagatai Khan, which would be a stretch, but only because his people have such a high regard for Psykers. The Stormseers are basically in charge, even though they're still librarians there. And there was the chief librarian of the White Scars, who defended Magnus during the Council in Ikea.
Yeah.
And the only other one potentially would actually be Guilliman, because Tzeentch does favour those who search for knowledge, and Rabute Guilliman was, he was a scholar, he was a diplomat, he was, regardless of how, you like to view the Ultramarines and Smurfs and whatever, he was very intelligent, and he was, he was hungry for knowledge as well. He wanted to seek the answers. So he could potentially be influenced by Tzeentch in some way or another, basically how do I, make my empire greater than my father's? And Tzeentch goes, I'll tell you how.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
I like that. And who wins?
No one wins. Everyone dies, and we get to put back to the Dark Ages, except in the 41st millennium, like in the current timeline.
Okay. And Alexis.
Okay, so I have the list up. I'm gonna go down them, and you guys are gonna hate me. So number 1, Lionel Johnson, falling to Tzeentch.
Yes, I said that. Happy with that.
And the reason for this is, I believe that Lionel Johnson may have deceived his brothers, may have planned everything out, similar to how the Emperor planned everything out, and kind of sat on the sidelines knowing full well what was actually happening and helping out both sides. He was very, very tactical at this, because regardless of who wins at the end, the Lion wins.
Yes,
so
actually,
I can see him for Tzeentch. Also, he went into the warp and then somehow got back out. My theory is he went up there, Tzeentch told him how to get out, and he got out. I also believe the Watchers in the Dark to be very, very similar to Tzeentch also with the newest story. As much as I hate it, they're following a Tzeentch demon.
Well, it's the changelings, though. You can kind of excuse them, but
Yeah.
Yes, but I see Lion falling to Tzeentch.
I can agree with that just because I said it myself.
Next is Jagatai Khan.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think he's going to be one of the first ones to die. Mostly because all of the White Scar stories are fucking awful.
In fairness, the book Scars was actually pretty decent.
It is, but there's so much fluff of just the Tau mowing them down.
Well, that's what Tau do.
In fairness, the Chapter Master wasn't killed by the Tau unlike the Raven Guard.
Okay, yes. Jagatai Khan, I don't see him falling to a Chaos God. I see him joining the Chaos Warband and being killed by his brother.
So, which one?
Very simply, probably... Oh, that's a tough one. But probably Rogel Dorn. Because Jagatai Khan would rush in and Rogel's defenses would hold up to the point where they would fist fight and Rogel would kill him.
And then he would go, yay, bike.
Yes. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Oh, well played. So, Jagatai Khan for Chaos Undivided, then.
Yes. Leman Rust for Nurgle.
Oh.
And the Gene Seed is the reason for this.
Right.
Okay, so the way I see this is very similar to how Mortarion fell. And yes, there is an extended story, but essentially he went through the warp and a plague broke out on his ship. I think instead he will go through the warp, have a closer connection to Nurgle, and Nurgle will activate everything wrong with his Gene Seed, turning his squads into the Wolfen, except they would be more chaotic. And I see Leman Russ actually bowing to Nurgle to save his legion.
The only argument I have with that, and I can see the story panning out just that way, but why would Nurgle do it and not Khorne? Because the Wolfen are feral murder machines.
Or even
which is
the mutations and that.
I can see both of them, but the reason I would see it as Nurgle is Leman Russ builds a lot and has a lot of ceremonies, and he's actually kind of a nice guy in the fluff.
And he's flipping tough.
Yes, he is a complete asshole to everything, but his chapter primarily saves people first. So I can see them, because of how friendly they are, they can fall to Nurgle, but I can also see the other two Chaos Gods. I just see it more as very similar to Mortarion's story with Leman Russ.
Yeah, and actually you could say that Russ and Mortarion had one other thing in common, in that they absolutely despised sorcery, which is completely anti-Tzeentch, and Nurgle's kind of
which is
the
Nurgle.
mirror, which is the mirror of, yeah.
It's funny
So-
that Russ despised sorcery, yet his legion was fucking using it with rune priests. It's shamanism,
Is.
it's sorcery.
Is.
Yep.
Alright.
Rogel Dorn, I still see him as Chaos Undivided, and eventually I see him dying.
At the hands of...
Horus.
Okay.
Horus could probably, with the other legions, bust through the defenses and actually kill him.
Well, quote Horus, the sons of Horus besieging the Imperial Fist is a never-ending stalemate.
Yes, unless he's with another legion.
The Iron Warriors.
The Iron Warriors, who know how to get through defenses.
Yep, fair point.
Sanguinius, very simply, he's the War Master. He is.
Yeah.
He was another top choice in fairness, so.
Ferrus Manus. I can't see him falling, but I can see him dying or something very similar to a disappearance happening with him.
Someone gave me...
In a mirror, does he kill Fulgrim in this timeline, though?
Yes. I can see
Someone
him
gave
killing
me an argument. Someone gave me an argument for Manus going to Slaanesh because he's an
I'm about
artisan.
to get to that. Rupert Gilliman for Slaanesh.
Yes!
Rupert Gilliman is so prideful, and his legion is so beautiful. They have
and assholey.
They have a marble city. in some of the fluff. I can definitely see him thinking that his way is the best way and being so pridefully blind that he falls to Slaanesh without realizing it.
Okay. So that leaves Corax,
Vulcan.
that leaves Vulcan, and Khorne.
Okay, so Vulcan is the next one. Vulcan I can see going to... Oh god, who would he go to? Tzeentch maybe. Oh god, this is a tough one with him.
I think I don't know if you've shot yourself in the foot because you've left Khorne till last and you've already taken Russ and Sanguinius out of the equation and none of the others really, and Khan's gone as well because Khan was kind of a bit of a brutal murder machine if he wanted to be.
No, I'm saying Corax for Khorne.
Oh.
I would have.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Corax going to Khorne just because Corax was very, he and his entire legion were very sneaky, stealthy, which is very antithesis of what Khorne.
Admittedly,
up
Corax
until
and
the
Khorne
very end, Corax left his legion and dove into the Eye of Terror alone, which means he is not using. He is simply going there for blood. That's how I can see him falling, is his weapons of choice are very close combat based. They're very, very bloody. The
main problem is that what you say about Corax going into the war, yes he did, but that happened post-heresy because the Alpha Legion fucked his gene seed up.
Yes, but I can see Corax being, after everything's said and done, I can see Corax being like Abaddon and launching non-stop waves against the Imperium.
My question is, who instigates the heresy? Because the Horus heresy wasn't actually instigated by Horus; it was instigated by Erebus and Lorgar.
Lorgar, indeed.
So who's playing the role of Lorgar here?
That's the question that I was always like.
What the hell's his name? The guy locked up in the rock.
Luther.
Luther. I see it as Luther.
I mean, if Johnson went to Chaos Undivided, then I'd say Luther. The only issue is that if you think about Erebus and Lorgar, the only way that Lorgar was able to win some of them over is because he served Chaos Undivided. If he'd have served, I don't know, let's say Tzeentch arbitrarily, then he might have had a bit more trouble winning Angron over, for example.
Somebody from, probably somebody from the Ultramarines falling.
Or the White Scars. I could see the Chief Librarian of the White Scars being a bit of an issue.
Yep. I can see that. I can even see, like, in my version of it where Lion's the Warmaster, I can still see Luther coming to it, because don't forget, Caliban was a chaos-tainted world.
Oh, heck yes. Yes, it was.
All the monsters were chaos beasts. And
there were chaos tomes all over the shop.
Exactly. He might have discovered something. That might have, get granted him a vision or something, be like, dude, you gotta check this shit out. Essentially.
I think Luther's the most likely candidate.
Yeah.
At the end of it, if the tables are turned, I see the Loyalists actually losing. The Loyalists being the ones that were corrupted in this timeline, actually losing.
So you see Guilliman losing?
Yep.
Okay.
And I see the Emperor and Horus winning.
Yeah, to the reason, just before you give your reason, I've had so many comments that tell me the main reason that my theory is wrong is because, one reason basically, and that's Magnus. Magnus is the swing factor for everybody I seem to hear in my comments.
I can see the reason behind it, because essentially if it wasn't for basically the Emperor turning around saying, Liam Russ, your brother's been a naughty boy, bring him back, Magnus would have felt betrayed and betrayed the Emperor, because Magnus, at the end of the day, the Thousand Sons only turned traitor because they felt they had no other choice.
And on top of that, the reason that people were giving to me is that, if this is the case, then maybe Magnus never catches wind or doesn't do what he does in the canon timeline, never F's up the webway. And
that's another thing.
So he can sit on the Golden Throne whilst the Emperor does basically Horus's job and wipes everybody into the floor.
Yeah.
The two major differences is the main bulk of the Custodes are actually going to be involved in this battle, because the webway project isn't going to be broken. The Golden Throne is going to be broken. And the other thing, Horus is just going to look at the Emperor and just be like, "Hey, Dad, chill here. I got this."
But don't forget, in this time, Horus won't have the blessings of the 4 Chaos Gods, so he's not going to be as powerful.
Horus is still a monster in any type of battle.
Well, here's the one of the problems that Horus is going to have, and
also he might have the blessings of the Emperor.
Yeah, but the problem I see, Canon Sanguinius, managed to land a hit on Horus, who was fully powered up, after killing a bloodthirster that had already tried to kill him twice. That's how powerful Sanguinius was without a buff. Give him the Mark of Chaos Ascendant, and holy throne, I don't really want to think about how powerful he is.
Because wasn't it, like in the Horus Heresy novels, the only 3 Primarchs that could realistically stand toe-to-toe with Horus, before he was blessed by the Chaos Gods, were Sanguinius, Russ, and Lionel Johnson. That was literally them 3 alone, who could potentially stand toe-to-toe with him. So if he had a Chaos-boosted Sanguinius, Horus ain't going to have a chance in hell. Really.
And
also, I think Sanguinius would have just been fully turned into a demon at this point, versus staying human.
Yeah, I think of Asterath the Grim with a mega demon twist. That's how I think of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my worry, is that if Theory Horus, without the buffs, goes up against the buffed up Sanguinius, he's going to get the floor wipe with him. And so it basically falls on how powerful can the Chaos Gods make Sanguinius / Johnson to deal with the Emperor? Because that's the swing factor. If you can beat the Emperor, GG.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think with the Custodes plus the Emperor boosting Horus, it might put the sway in favor of the Loyalists.
The only other thing is actually the palace itself.
Who would be defending the palace? I assume it'd be
Perturabo.
Yeah.
Perturabo would have been the Praetorian, not Dawn. And at least as far as we're aware, Dawn was better at defending than Perturabo was, and the traitors in the canon timeline nearly broke the palace.
Yeah, because Perturabo was his role, essentially as a prime, was for breaking sieges, not maintaining them. Dawn was maintaining sieges, Perturabo was breaking them.
Well, we also have to remember, now we have the White Scars and the Space Wolves to do frontal assaults.
Whereas before we had the World Eaters and the Emperor's Children. Actually, no, the Emperor's Children went to ransack the Administratum.
It might not be like a siege. It might actually be that the Emperor initializes the attack against them, like as they're coming, because now he has Magnus on his side. Or no, yes, he would.
Yes, he would.
He would have Magnus on his side to predict that, along with himself.
And then you add Malcador into the equation, and I sincerely hope that Tzeentch was very nice to the Primarchs who went rogue, otherwise they're going to get wrecked something fierce.
The problem is, though, the Primarchs blessed by Khorne and are probably going to be immune to any psychic powers the Emperor give out.
But that's literally just Russ.
Yeah.
It's not really the psychic powers that the Emperor is giving out. Well, it's essentially the hey, he's gonna come here, so you guys blast the bejesus out of this place once they land.
It's divination.
You can debate the quality of the Emperor's divination. Let's be honest, if he had his great powers divination, why did he allow the heresy to happen? Yeah, exactly.
Because he wanted to ascend to a god.
That's another theory for another day.
Actually, that was a theory for about 4 weeks ago.
You know.
Oh my god.
Hang on a minute. Ow, 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 ow.
I think Michael just died.
Yeah, Khorne wasn't too happy with him.
No, pull the muscle in my leg, back of my leg. I feel like I just ripped the back of my calf open. It hurt. It really hurt.
See, this is why you shouldn't keep rippers as a pet.
I do. Again.
No, you keep a squig as a pet.
Hey, she is not big enough to be a squig.
She could be a buzzer squig.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
You get squigs the size of small planes as well sometimes. Squig walks.
Have you seen the size of the fantasy mangler squigs? That says a lot.
Yeah. Or even squig sharks. That's a thing. There's also chewing gum squigs.
Yep. And face ripper squigs.
Face hugger, yeah. Or the face rippers, is it? What's it called? Hang on a minute. I've got the Stomper anatomy
Face eater.
chart on my wall. Face eater, that's it.
Yeah.
And you've also got the beard squig.
The beer squig is awesome.
No, beard squig, not beer squig.
No, beer squig is awesome.
Oh, there's both of them, right.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
my god.
This is going to be... I'm going to move this on to a new feature, which I'm going to call Everybody's Rant of the Week. Basically, each of us is going to get a bit of time to complain about something that's been bothering us from the past week, whether it's lore-wise, game-wise, hobby-wise, whatever it happens to be. And it's basically going to give us an idea of what's wrong with the world.
All right, well, before we start this, give me 2 minutes. I have to run to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I'm sure you can edit that out.
But nah, it's fine. I don't mind this. Like, I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to edit out me nearly dying of a pulled muscle, so it's fine. It's more hassle than it's worth. Any spoiler hints for episode 25, or is that not been started? Or are you not involved in that?
I'm not involved in that myself. I have actually been able to get a sneak peek at the script, and it's bloody hilarious.
Well, isn't it always?
Oh yes. There's going to be more action involving Kit the Magnus battle, I'll actually say.
Good, because I first time through actually missed that end credit scene.
Yeah.
That was very good.
So, we'll raid the minibars.
Yes. Use Ouija boards to scare the absolute shit out of demons. Indeed. Actually, favourite episode of the whole series?
Ooh, I have to say my favourite episode was probably... Probably the one where, you know, when in the Ecclesiarchy, not the Ecclesiarchy, so the Inquisition attacks Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they get banished into the warp. And
Yeah, episode 18.
Yeah.
Banished Expectations.
Yeah. I did that one.
For me, it's either 15, the Tau episode, because oh my god, that rant was hilarious.
That rant was hilarious. Also, I'm back.
The other one was 19, where they gave all the lore on the Chaos Gods, because it was just like, I at one point I could recite everything Magnus said. It was just like...
I also love every single scene that involves Spacebook. You know, the chat room, all the
Yes! Oh, Facebook.
Actually, okay, my favorite episode is actually the one you were talking about, I think. Anyway, it had my favorite line in it that they've ever spoken. All hail the man emperor of mankind.
Oh, that was the short.
Yep.
It's the news.
I
loved
the fact
it.
they put Jakaro in that as well.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I also love the Yu-Gi-Oh short.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
Wait,
That
which one?
You know,
where they
the,
play hyperspace
Kitten-
billiard roulette thing with the cards.
Kitten and Emperor play
Oh.
a children's card game.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's from a while ago, but it is absolutely brilliant.
What about the one where the Emperor's messing with the text-to-speech device and he's got like the female voice in that as well?
That was funny.
So, hello, Empress. Hello, Emperor. You are looking mighty sexy. Don't talk to her.
And then the this is not fucking canon short.
Oh, yes. Where Shadow Stone was voiced by a man.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was Monkey, I think. It could be,
Cool.
It could be Stellar Elite. I can't remember.
I have to be honest, it's been 10 episodes now. When are they going to do the Holovid series with Farsight? That would be amazing.
I'm
The
just
cheesy
more
animated one.
I'm just more waiting. What the hell's going on with that thing with Ghazghkull Thraka? Because he appeared like episode 5 or whatever, and we haven't seen him since.
Oh yeah, he just showed up beating the snot out of the Overfiend of Octarius, and then...
Oh my god, I can't wait for more Ghazghkull.
But we shall have to wait for our Lord and Saviour, Alpha Vusa, to get that done, because, quite frankly, there's enough to keep us talking.
Incidentally, do you know that Ghazghkull Thraka was actually named after Margaret Thatcher?
What?
What?
Yeah, Ghazghkull Mag-Uruk Thraka. Margaret Thraka, Margaret Thatcher, and he was also called the Iron Orc at one point, like Margaret Thatcher was called the Iron Lady.
That is amazing.
That is wow. So we know which way GW voted back in the day.
Well, in fairness, Gasco's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. That's my point, Remleiz.
Oh, sorry, I'm tired. Leave me alone.
As we all are. So
No, I'm kind of awake.
It's like 1 o'clock your time.
Yeah,
yes,
true.
it is.
True. So the rant of the week.
Who wants to go first?
Stop
I have
asking
one.
me about cyber dongs. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, my whinge is a hobby one. I've been building a bunch of battle suits for my work on the. I finished my broadside, and now I've literally just finished my commander during the middle of this podcast. And the one thing that does my head in is the little things that go into holes that's supposed to be a ball joint.
So all I have is little thing going to hole and balls.
Remleiz. What I mean is, so
You beat me to it, Remleiz.
So what I mean, before somebody gets all the wrong ideas, because it's actually too late for that, is, for example, my Tau Commander's feet are supposed to be on a ball joint. So it's a little circle that goes, little sphere that goes into the hole, and you can maneuver it around as you see fit. But Alexis. But what actually happens is that there's a little square on the end of the leg, and it doesn't, and it means that you can't actually rotate the leg joint, the foot joint properly. So it makes it really, really bad to create awesome custom poses. They do it with the hip joints, the leg joints, some of the arm joints, and it does my napper in. Anyway, before I say anything else that I'm going to be taken out of context, I'm going to stop. Rant over.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the comments ever will be again.
Hashtag the warp did it.
Indeed. And
Anyway.
Yes, your turn.
No, but I do agree. I do have a commander battlesuit that I simply could not pose the way I wanted them to, and it wound up with a whole bunch of green stuff for new joints to make him posable.
Yeah, I mean, mine looks okay because he's supposed to be stood on this little girder, I think. Little girder with an orc icon on it. And I decided, you know what, screw that. I'll just make that a bit of decoration. Actually have him stood on his own 2 feet. He's a little bit less dynamic than I'd like, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay. Oh my god, that was still funny as hell.
Now brace yourselves.
What was my rant of the week? I just had one. Now I forgot it.
Oops.
Remleiz, your turn.
He's already done
Already
his,
done mine.
the cyber dogs.
Damn it! I need to brain. Oh my god.
Insert the countdown theme here.
I got nothing. I'm gonna remember it in like 5 minutes. Trust
fine.
me.
Just
That's
out
fine.
when you do.
Yeah, because I'm sure that as the weeks go by, we'll come up with things that do our heads in. For example, I'm probably going to get very annoyed about the fact that my battlesuits have to move as infantry even though they've got freaking jetpacks, which makes no sense. That'll probably get very annoying.
Hey, those bastards shouldn't even move. Fucking gun lines. I know you don't play it like that, but I'm still mad at them.
All right, there we go. Tau is the rant of the week. Actually, that's something I wanted to follow up on, and assuming Tau was going to come up. Why does Tau get so much shit compared to Eldar? Because
I can kill Eldar with ease. I have never had a problem fighting Eldar, even with the hardest dick-kicking list that they have. I can beat it. Tau, I can't. I drop pod in, they blow me away. I bike up to them, they blow me away. I fly up to them, they blow me away.
Actually, they blow me away.
And not even in the good way. They don't even take me out on a date first.
I think the main reason that I bring this up is because back in 6th edition, Taudar was broken. It was. And thankfully, it got nerfed. But if you look at the 7th edition Tau codes and what the Tau actually gained in 7th edition, there's not a lot. Like, they didn't gain any. They gained 1 battlesuit that nobody uses. They gained a Lord of War, the Ghost Keel.
The Ghost Keel is heavily used. Are you kidding?
Really?
Yeah, I fight that every tournament list I'm in.
Oh, whenever I use it, it's terrible.
Yeah, you bottle up and use its bubble around you and an Aegis defense line to give yourself a 2-up cover.
It doesn't have a bubble effect.
Oh, then how the hell do they... Oh no, it's that one formation that they use for the 2-up and they just blast shit.
Okay.
All I know is I go up against it a lot.
Okay, so they made a battlesuit that is used in our formation, which I'm sure is part of your reason why you want to ban Decurions and stuff, which you mentioned last time. But
oh god, I hate Decurion.
They gained a Storm Surge that nobody should ever dare use because it's ugly as sin and probably terrible.
No. Oh my god, no. Okay, maybe Americans and you guys play Tau completely different, but I usually go up against one of them a list, and those destroyer missiles that hit on a 2-up that can reroll are insane. There are so many dumb things you can do with Tau that just sit back and blast the ever-living bejesus out of anything.
And yet, every single game I seem to play, I play against... the only time I actually blown someone off the board was foot-slogging Logan Wing Space Wolves. That's the only time... And Harlequins. They're the only two lists that I've actually managed to blow away. Everybody else has hit me, and in many cases, I can't beat Tyranids. My Tau has a 100% lose rate against bugs. I can't
Note
beat
to self,
them.
bring Nids against you.
I can't beat bugs. Whether it's because of Gene Stealer Cult infiltrating bullshit, whether it's because I don't actually... Or maybe it's because my friend can never not make an armor save, or I can't roll a 5+ to wound, or my battlesuits never turn up on time, or I just roll a lot of 1s to wound with my bloody fusion guns. I can't beat bugs. There's just either too many of them, or they're too tough. I have a 100% lose rate to Tyranids, I think. I might have beaten them once, and that's it. Plus, they just psychic me out of existence.
Yep.
All I've got as a defense is a Farsight relic that has a small aura of Adamantium Will. Actually, no, it's +2, not +1, but... That's a 25-point relic that's not in the 8, so I can't just I'm using this at Commander, because I like to play with the 8, or parts of the 8. So it's I can't beat bugs. I really can't. And I played...
This is actually a question I have. Remleiz, do you actually play the tabletop?
I can't afford to be really honest, because I have other things for my money to go on, I'm afraid. I haven't been able to properly play since 3rd. I've been so broke.
I'm so sorry.
Actually,
how do you...
It's fine.
Then again, I suppose that depends on what people... I mean, I guess if you ever get back into the tabletop, then you'll probably have a very steep learning curve. I get the feeling it's not what it used to be. I mean, I remember the 5th ed meta where it was Leaf Blower Parking Lot Guard, and then it was Taudar, and now it's just Eldar.
I remember the 2nd edition meta.
Oh my god.
That's how long it's been. I remember the 2nd edition meta. I remember going to Games Workshop Reading to have they had a special event on called the Ranadandra, which is based on the Eldar Final Battle. And
yes.
I was playing with the Eldar players, because you just bring in your own miniatures and add it to the massive army. And then having 2 Falcon Grav tanks and a Fire Prism, just because why the fuck not? And the Chaos side were allowed to take 3 Bloodthirsters, 7 Demon Princes, a Lord Change, and 6 Great Unclean Ones. The Elder side was only allowed 1 Avatar of Cain. Bullshit. I'm sorry, but that was bullshit.
Well, to be fair, the Ranadandra is something I think the Eldar are scripted to lose, so...
Yes, but the thing is, 6 Great Unclean Ones, 3 Bloodthirsters... Let's have us have 2 or 3 avatars to compensate.
No, that's... Yeah, I suppose it... Did Wraith Lords exist back then?
They did, yes. And also, don't forget, what was that? 3 Abaddons, 5 Khan the Betrayers, 2 Fabius Biles, I think there was something stupid like 10 Aramans.
Okay, I'm confused now.
Oh my god. Okay, so in a game recently, I was playing this in the... I have a bunch of opponents that don't like to be recorded, and it's really freaking annoying because I could get 3 battle reports a week, but they don't like being recorded, and the shop has a strict no recording policy. Whatever. It's just dirtbag little store anyway. But anyway, I was playing up against this guy who shot in Karn the Betrayer into the Swarm Lord, and he's like, easy kill. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, this
Dead.
What's Karn's initiative? Oh, it's like 5 or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I strike first, and he's dead.
Lol.
Yep.
And he was like, well, no, I have a 4-up invo save. Rolls it.
No.
I'm like, okay, I have 5 attacks. I hit you on 3s. I wound you on 2s. You're removed. And he's just like, oh. Although, in a tournament one time, and this is probably my favorite thing ever, and this happened at the place that I normally film at called Zombie Planet. Okay, shout out to them. I love those guys. Anyway. I'm playing Foot Tyrannid, which is dangerous, especially in a tournament. I did not do well in the tournament. But, actually I took like 4th place, which isn't bad.
That's really good.
I don't do well. I did came 4th.
This guy takes a squad of Thunderwolf cavalry, 6 models, and launches it at the Swarm Lord with 3 bodyguards. The 3 bodyguards soak up all of the wounds, and the Swarm Lord proceeds to kill every single one of them. And the best line ever was, he was like, I'm going to assault that Hive Tyrant. And I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, it's just a Hive Tyrant.
Did he not know it was the Swarm Lord?
I definitely told him the one on foot is a Swarm Lord.
Oops.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I have 2 really fond memories of close combats I had no right to do anything in.
I watched Abaddon lose to a drone.
I watched one Death Cop to run down in a 20-man squad of Kroot. I did that.
Okay, have you seen that movie 28 Weeks Later?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Remleiz, you'll get this then. Do you remember that scene where the helicopter tipped its blades and just chopped up all the zombies?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
I can tell you one thing from a game I did play. This was years ago. This is when I was playing Warhammer Fantasy for a while.
I'm so sorry.
I was at... This is actually when I was good. It was at the Throne of Skulls tournament in the Games Workshop HQ. And I was playing a Chaos Warrior warband using Marauders. And I went up against a Vampire Count army. And I don't know if you remember how OP the Vampire Counts were back then. This is back when...
I never had to face them, but I know they were terrifying when you combined Resurrection with Van Hell's Dance Macabre and all that other shit.
Vampire Lord...
I have no idea.
Vampire Lord charged my squad of Marauders and horseback.
Was this a Foot Lord?
No, mounted on a Nightmare.
Okay.
But Bard of Nightmare, so I had a 2+ up save with heavy armor and shield.
Yep.
It misses all of its attacks in close combat. My Marauders miss all their attacks, but then the horses roll for their attacks. They hit, they wound. Vampire fails all 5 saves.
Dead.
And so is most of the army because it's tied to the vampire.
Yes. My other one, I remember Wazdaka Gutsmech one-shotting a Necron Monolith. That was fun.
Damn.
Oh my god. I remember people bringing Necron monoliths.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Have they just replaced them with Transcendent Catan now, have they?
Although,
there's no one taking because it's shit.
No one takes...
One game, a couple months ago, I was playing up against Necron Decurion, and my friend at the time was like, oh yeah, you can bring anything. This'll be whatever. So I bring my Death Guard, my 30k Death Guard. I bring a Knight Titan, which, isn't that powerful. Everybody gives shit to the Knight Titan. It's not that overpowered.
I'm seeing where this is going already. I'm seeing Gauss in my future.
Okay, so I have Titan, 2 squads, 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts, dual Harry's assault cannons, a whole bunch of tactical marines, and maxed out firepower, 3 predators. As much firepower as I can get. Turn 1.
Yep.
His army moves up out of range, so he runs closer. My turn. I use my Master of Signals, and blow away his Necron Lord, the those stupid jet bikes, and a spider. Boom!
Nice.
Right off the board, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And then I
4+
ran.
reanimate, surely.
Some did, most didn't. And then I ran the knight into his warriors. They overwatched him and knocked him down to like 2 hull points, which sucked because it was a giant freaking blob of them. I slammed into them, stomped the ever-living bejesus out of them, killed most of them, and then just sat back and shot them. By turn 3, he had nothing left on the board. He was like, okay, good game. Especially when the knight went nuclear and blew up half his army. I'm going to conveniently...
Jenkins, didn't it?
I'm going to scatter perfectly right onto the main bulk of your army and D. Yay!
Have you ever had a game, I think you actually gave an example of this last time, have you ever had to concede by the end of turn 1?
I conceded turn 2 to a game.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about this.
I think this was this against the Iron Hand Grav spam? Because I think you mentioned it last week.
No. I've gone up against Grav spam before, and I've lost to it, but I've always had decent games against big tournament lists. This list, this player, I did not have a good game against. I won't give his name, but he knows exactly who he is, the little scumfuck. Anyway. I don't mean that. I swear. Anyway.
Allegedly.
This little guy annoyed the piss out of me. We're playing 30k. He puts down a bunch of unpainted, unbuilt models. And I'm like, okay. Yes, mostly unbuilt. Like Terminators having no arms.
Oh, dear.
I was just imagining you put a bunch of sprues on the table. I was like, there you go, that's my army.
Okay, like, if people have unpainted armies, I'm like, whatever. You know what? You're into the hobby. You have a 2,000 point list. Let's play. I'm still going to film it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I do prefer to get fully painted armies because they look nicer. So I
Agreed.
go up against this guy. I deploy my Death Guard, and I'm like, and this is when I just started Death Guard, and I'm still just starting Death Guard. I have Tactical Marine squads, veterans with Sniper, because yes. And I had the Death Shroud Terminators, 2 Contemptor Dreads, and 2 of my Predators that I stole off of my Space Marine Legion. And I'm like, okay, this will be a fun game. And he's like, well, I have a unit of 10 Terminators right here. I have these Marines up in the roof, and I couldn't tell what they were. And I have 3 Bikers and other shit, including a Thud Gun that was a Thunderfire cannon, which I could see as a good stand-in. I was like, okay, that's okay. So, my turn 1, I hunkered down, stayed in cover, and let out a barrage. I did nothing. I'm like, okay, you know what? Night fighting plus ruins is a 3-up save. He made them.
Fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
His turn. I'm going to shoot 20 Cyclone missiles at 8 different targets. They all have Tank Hunter. And I'm like, wait, what? What are these? And he's like, oh, they're actually like these Gorgon Terminators that I didn't tell you about in my list, but I have my list on my phone, and I'm not going to tell you that they can take them. And I'm like, bullshit. I have the most current book. So I'm looking through it, and I'm like, the Gorgon Terminators aren't in here. And he's like, oh, well, you know, they're in this book. And I'm like, well, shit, you didn't tell me that we were using books that aren't released yet. And he's like, oh, you know what, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you know what, that's fine. He blows away half my army, turn 1. And I'm like, okay. Then his bikes move up, and they all have fucking plasma. Like plasma carbines or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And
Did he just
I'm
use
like,
bases for them? It's not painted yet.
no, he used the assault on, not the assault on Black Reach. What's the set?
Dark Vengeance.
Dark Vengeance Bikers as something else that all had 2-shotting grav guns that 2-shotting plasma guns that didn't overheat. With Tank Hunter, with Preferred Enemy.
He was playing Alpha Legion, I take it.
No, he was playing Iron Warriors.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, there goes my unit of 5 Death Shroud Terminators. And then he proceeded to barrage my army again. At that point, I'm just like, you know what? I have no idea what I'm fighting. Like,
whatever happens to the what you see is what you get, you know, unofficial
in 30k, models have to be modeled correctly.
Yeah, what you see is what you get.
That is an actual rule. In fairness, I do allow people to proxy certain things like, hey, these flamethrowers are actually grav guns. Okay, the grav gun is not easy to get. Hey, these missile launchers are grav cannons. Okay, I know about that. I'm going to note it down. That's okay.
Yeah, if you notify your opponent ahead of time, there's no problem with it, because most people are like, okay, fair enough, you've let me know before we've actually started playing, now I know what I'm up against.
I will be okay with somebody proxying 3 different things, up to even 5 different things, but when the entire army is proxied and I don't know what I'm fighting, because I've never seen it before, that's
bullshit.
I refuse to play that kid anymore. I will not play him anymore.
No.
Yeah, I completely get that. I haven't got a story quite that rough. In fact, my worst experience to concede immediately was actually playing Age of Sigmar. I know, heresy, we're on a 40k podcast, but I just want to mention this quickly because this is the one example of why AOS is broken, is the double turn mechanic. So basically, I was playing my, I think I was playing a mixed elf force. I was playing half high, half dark, and I was running against Khorne Bloodbound. My friend is really good with his Khorne Bloodbound. He's playing a cavalry Khorne Bloodbound, like juggernauts and skull crushers and chariots and oh dear God.
I love the look of that army.
Oh, it's sexy as all hell.
Just saying that, I love.
Yeah, it's extremely sexy. But anyway, so I go first, and I basically do fuck all. I ping a couple of things off, but juggernauts have 5 wounds a throw, so I'm not killing anything in a hurry. And then he rushes up. As you do, gets in a decent position. I'm like, okay, I've got 1 more turn, maybe 2. Nope, double turn, massive run and charge, smack, everything's dead, I concede.
Jesus.
Yeah, the game after that, I played my Cult of Cain against the smaller Blood Balance, and that was one of the best games I've ever had. But that game, where I just got completely demolished on turn 2 without basically rolling a dice.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It sucks that it happened to you, but you gotta admit, for the story, it was worth it.
Yeah, I can see it now, but it's just like... Oh.
Just like me getting my face stomped in by that proxy list. I'm okay with it for the story.
Yeah, because you want to complain about Tower being overpowered. Okay, this was our second most recent battle report. It was double Tau, which had a Riptide and Farsight.
I watched that video.
Yeah, where we got absolutely spanked by Deathwatch / Wolves / non-optimized Skitarii. We got absolutely obliterated.
We got hit by Super Friends.
But the thing is, I lost I lost a good chunk of my stuff because they were in reserves and I couldn't pass a fucking reserve roll. I failed both of them. And I was like, oh, right, the Riptide, it's gonna go its overcharge. No, it's gonna get hot. Okay, it's gonna overcharge for a 3 over airball. No, it's gonna get hot. No, it's gonna fire for the next. No, it's gonna get hot again.
Yeah, I could tell during that
Riptide
game.
Sat there doing fuck all because my teammate kept rolling fucking 1s. Sorry, I don't swear that much. I'm sorry, people on this channel who don't like me when I swear, but oh my God, I got pissed off.
When I was listening to that battle report, I could tell you were getting upset.
Yeah, I'm really easy to read, particularly when I'm doing battle reports. I'm so easy to read.
Michael, I need to say this to you: get a better camera.
I know, I'm recording on a freaking iPhone. I'm aware.
You need a better camera.
I'm on a student budget, and I don't game for 8 months of the year because I can't record at Games Workshop. I don't.
At least you have a Games Workshop.
Yeah, the nearest one to me is in Birmingham.
Yeah, mine's an hour walk. I can't play there because it's at 6 o'clock on a Thursday, and I don't finish lectures until 5, and I have to go home and then go up there again, which is an hour and a half minimum round trip, assuming I walk stupidly quickly and get shin splints. I can't film there if I do get there because mine is walking through the store, and I can't play anything else because, well, I don't have the space to bring it to uni with me. It's like, yeah, it's great that it's there that I can buy stuff, but that's what the internet's for.
Yeah.
Okay. Over here, I drive 45 minutes to get to my local store.
Yep.
Regardless of which way I go, there's Oneonta and there's Albany. I'm 45 minutes in the middle of both of them. I drive out and I wait for a game. And usually my crowd, like, I actually showed a video of my locals. Like, I love my locals. We're going to do a podcast together, but we just haven't gotten the equipment to do it.
All right.
And they're like, oh, just use Alexis's camera. And I'm like, I record in 1080p. It goes to 720p once I edit everything. And my camera dies almost immediately. Like the first 10 minutes of recording, my camera dies because I record in such a high quality and I record as much as I can.
Yeah, that's the reason that my quality is so shit. I have to record to get any footage beyond, let's say, 15 minutes. I have to record in 360p to get a video longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because I run out of memory. Not battery, I run out of flipping memory. And I can't do anything about that because I'm on a phone. And if I get a proper...
I know the pain. It sucks.
But yeah, I know my bat rep quality is poor compared to everything else. It's something I'm aware of. And if I had enough money and time to put down on a proper camera that would actually get enough value in... Yeah, I would, but I just... No, haven't got the money for that.
This is the pain. I use my camera for everything, though. And now I wanted to start streaming for the channel. Like, I wanted to start streaming Dawn of War 3 once it comes out, and all this other stuff, and I was so hyped up to do it. And I go to do it. My graphics card is dying in my computer.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, shoot. I don't have the money for that. Because I just did a repair on my car. I just put aside $300 for the cultists because I need those for the channel because they're the in thing right now, and I'm trying to traffic as much shit to my channel as I possibly can.
Which we're going to make sure there's a link in the description to both yours and Remleiz's channel to make sure that happens. Yep.
I think Remleiz died.
No,
actually, Remleiz has been very, very quiet for the past 10 minutes, so we've just been shouting at each other.
But I want to talk about this for a second, though.
Go on.
There was, I do a lot of battle reports. I try to get 2 a week, recorded. That way, I have one as backup.
Yeah.
But I played against this guy, and he got really mad that I didn't post a battle report. And I was like, okay, look, I'm going to explain to you what I did with your battle report. And he's like, well, you don't like putting that you lose on your channel. And I'm like, no, I know that I'm not a great player. Like, I'm a good player, and I'm trying to remember 7 different armies worth of rules. So, yes, I make mistakes. I'm aware that I make mistakes, and I know that I make mistakes. It's why I asked my commenters to leave the rules that I got wrong so that I can check and make them better.
Which is fair enough.
But this one guy got so butthurt at me because I kept his battle report for a standby battle report. Because I just did Tyranids vs. Marines, and it was Tyranids vs. Marines. I'm not going to post that 2 weeks in a row. That's boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
If I have the variety, I'm going to show the variety.
Have you published it since?
I actually refused to after he insulted me. I was like, you know what? No, you don't get it.
That's fair. Actually, this is a question I have primarily for Remleiz, I suppose, but for both of you. How far ahead do you work on your upload schedule? Do you
I tend to go a week in advance.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So I've just finished yesterday. I finished off all of next week's uploads, and I've written the script for the week after's lore video.
I tried to make sure I have at least 2 videos ahead for the following week, just in case if I fall ill or whatever, I still got content uploaded ready.
Yeah.
I plan usually 3 days before.
That's still decent.
With battle reports, if I'm lucky enough to... My dog is attacking my hand right now. She does this a lot. If I'm lucky enough, I will film certain things weeks in advance. Cultist Chan, I can't because that's a week-to-week basis, and I wait for the questions.
Yeah.
Which actually isn't doing as well as I was expecting.
It must be the new question asker you got.
Yeah, probably. I'm still pissed at my one friend. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Day of. You know what? I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Dick. You unbelievable dick. I need this stuff. I need to stick to a schedule. And now like processing videos is taking me an entire day, and I'm like, oh no, I need to be more professional.
Takes you an entire day to process a video?
Jeez.
Because my graphics card is dying, and I'm kind of overclocking it, and I know I am. I'm overclocking this entire computer. This computer is only $1,000, and I make it do this things that Alienware would do.
I tell you one thing that always makes me laugh. Talking to the guys involved with TTS, and one of them asks, "Oh, so which editing system are you using? Vegas?" I was like, "No, Windows Movie Maker." And they're like, "The fuck? You use that?" But yes, I use Windows Movie Maker. There you go.
I use ArcSoft, so
I can't afford anything better.
I had ArcSoft on my old PC, and then it deleted itself from the store, so I couldn't use it anymore. And now I've got iMovie because I've just switched over to a MacBook.
You have a Mac? Gross. No wonder why you're Tau.
To be fair, the Mac is much newer than the Tau. Genuinely, the first video I made on this Mac was the video with Remleiz. The very first one in my iMovie library is the video with Remleiz. It's really quite new, but it's like I had no editor, and I needed an editor, and I wanted to stream. So I just needed a PC that had a movie editor that could stream and that would last me for the next 5 to 10 years because I'm not buying a bloody another one. So
Oh no, continue. I'm hating my computer right now.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, we dropped about. Well, we got a really good student discount, so my headset that I'm using now basically came free with the PC, and we dropped about £900 on it, I think, which is in your money about
$700.
$1,200, I think, $1,200.
Sorry.
Or so. It's about $1,200, $1,800 on it, and. It does absolutely everything I need it to. I can get Office on it for free from a university. I've got.
Wait, how much was it?
It was a MacBook. It was a MacBook Pro, basically. It cost it's $1,000 in UK money. But it cost a bit less for me because I got a student discount.
It's $1,300 here.
Okay. So yeah,
I just wanted to do the conversion.
Yeah, so that's what I dropped that on a PC, and it's got Skype, it's got a image editor, it's got a video editor, it's got Office because of the university, it's got a notes tab for me to write scripts on, it's got the ability to do airdrop so I can ping voice recordings over to it. It does everything I need it to do, and I probably won't need to replace this now for like 10 years, assuming it doesn't run out of memory. But then I bought a blooming 2 terabyte hard drive just to store my bloody videos on it as an archive.
I have 2 terabytes inside my computer, and I have a 5 terabyte external.
I've got 32 gig in this thing.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I've got.
You're a mechanic. What the hell?
Yeah, of all of us, you think it'd be the bloody Magos who had a decent piece of kit underneath him.
I'm not allowed to modify it. It's techno-heresy to do so.
That doesn't mean you can't get a new one.
It's techno-heresy to do so. But no, in fairness, money is the reason why I can't get a new one. In fairness.
But to be fair,
I have a mortgage to pay.
Yeah. I've got a student loan, but yeah. But part of the great thing, I had my old PC. We had it on like a mobile phone contract, so we paid it in installments and then returned it. And upgraded, and then we decided, no, we're not going to upgrade, we're just going to buy this Mac, and it's going to last us for 10 years.
Yeah, I'm kind of sleeping on a couch right now.
Jesus.
I don't make enough money to actually get an apartment of my own yet. And I live in a college town, so everything's really expensive.
In a college? I live...
I also live in New York, which has really, 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 really stupidly high taxes.
Yeah, I'm living in Manchester. Yeah, I'm living where you can buy. I mean, I'm living in a place where you can buy a pint of beer for like £1.80 or something, or you can get shots for £1 without even trying, because like everybody does £1 shots on a night out.
I don't pay for drinks anymore. I just hit on somebody until they get me drinks.
Yeah, some of us aren't so lucky, Alexis. And those £1, like I went to meet one of my friends who were going to watch a game of soccer. We were going to watch a game of football at the pub, and I got there first, so I just ordered a Coke because I don't drink alcohol. And
I'm so sorry.
It's my choice to not drink alcohol.
That's true.
But anyway, so I get this pint of Coke, and the guy, I get it off the guy, and he says that's going to be £2.30, and I look at him, and literally at the other end of, have you heard of the Curry Mile, Remleiz?
The what? Sorry.
Yes, I have.
The Curry Mile.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
In Manchester. Yeah. At the other end of the Curry Mile was my old local from where I used to live, my old digs, and it was £1.40 for a pint of Coke on a match day. It's £2.30 in the nearest pub here, and I'm literally 20 minutes walk down the road, and my new nearest pub is nearly twice as expensive for Coke. I dread to think how much a pint costs in that place, because back in my hometown in like the buttfuck nowhere in South Yorkshire, it's £2.50, and you just accept that because you're living in the middle of fucking nowhere. But £2.30 in the middle of the student residential district. What the fuck?
It does make absolutely no sense.
Indeed.
Holy cow.
What?
I'm actually trying to remember how much drinks cost me here, and I honestly can't remember.
When was the last time you bought yourself a drink? 2007?
About 6-7 months ago.
Oh, Jesus, you what?
What do you expect? She's a worshipper of Slanesh. What do you expect?
That's a Zinch trick. Manipulate. Not, whatever.
Hey, I'm undivided, I'll have you know, but I mostly lean to Slanesh.
I thought Cultist Chan was proper Slanesh, but hey.
No, she's undivided.
Actually, yeah, there is no Slanesh sigil anywhere that I could see.
That's visible.
That's fair. That's visible.
No, you know what's really funny, though? I actually talked to the original artist of Cultist Chan. Not only does she, like, hate what Cultist Chan has become, I actually talked to her about, like, the mannerisms and everything, the way she speaks and whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're doing a good job.
Hey.
And she was like, you got the attitude down. And that's what's really important. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, there you go. You got the blessing of the creator of Cultist Chan herself, so you can't be doing that wrong, can you?
No, not at all.
Although I've recently been thinking about stopping it, and at the same time, I'm not going to, but I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I get you. Because when you have a series that's not flying, like I look at my lore videos.
No,
and my lore...
it's not that it's not flying. It is doing really well. It's just that I have to constantly stop people from white knighting every comment. It gets annoying.
Oh, you're gonna have fun with YouTube heroes then, aren't you?
It's because I get a lot of feminists to my channel. I get a lot of freaking white knights to my channel, which annoys the piss out of me, to be honest, because I hate them. Like, I honestly hate them. But this one guy's like, "Wow, you're really cute," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, that was it. And
seems innocent
huge paragraph of why that guy is sexist, and I'm like,
Jesus
Christ. He's not sexist.
He gave you a compliment. I didn't exactly see that as a bad thing. It's not like
although apparently over here saying hi to somebody is sexual assault. So
wait, what?
Yeah, there was a whole video about it. A construction worker said hi to her. That was it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. But
this is one of those times where I quite like living in PC UK.
Well, speaking of YouTube heroes, why is it whenever I hear that song, I keep imagining the theme song for the game Sonic Heroes?
Yes!
Like, YouTube
I'm assuming
heroes.
I'm pretty sure somebody actually used that song as a reference during one of their rants about it, maybe?
Probably.
I feel like somebody did.
And what was up with the question of why does Remleiz sound like Sargon of Akkad? That was legit one of the questions for Cultist Chan, and I'm like, what?
Who?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, what's that got to do with the price of eggs? I have a lot of weird phrases that I come out with. I tell you what, this is one of my proudest achievements. I used to play Tactica a hell of a lot, and sometimes like, we say back in my house, like, if you're tired, you're knackered. I'm sure you may have come across the phrase, but but my dad actually changed it, and whenever he used to say it, he's like, "Oh, I'm Tactica," and I was like, "Oh my god, yes!" It actually rubbed off to the point where he actually used one of my Warhammer characters to describe his emotions. I was just like, yes.
So, do you guys get Mormons at all?
We get Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay, Jehovah's, perfect. These guys came knocking on my door one day, and I looked at them, and they're like, "Do you have time to speak about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?" And I'm like, "That depends. Do you have time to speak about our actual Lord and Savior, the Emperor?"
Oh, that's fantastic.
And his imperial truth. And they just kind of like looked at me and walked away.
Oh, that's...
All that needed was the opening theme song with TTS playing in the background when you did that. That's
Yes.
what was needed. And a big golden light.
No. What you needed was to be doing your Sisters of Battle cosplay at the time. It's like, you will agree or you will die, heretic. That's what it needed.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god. So, speaking of my sister cosplay, I recently did a modeling photo shoot, which is awesome. And I'm going to have that armor in a comic coming up, and I'm going to get that. And I actually want to... I'm probably going to send you guys pictures of it, because sending anything to you guys is way too expensive. But in it, the one guy's like, "Is this chick from Halo?" And I was just like, oh. I was like, oh.
Oh dear.
And I was like, no, the Sister of Battle from Warhammer 40k. And he's like, "What's Warhammer?"
No.
I'm like,
Purge him.
You crushed my hopes and dreams. And he's like, "Well, whatever, it's going in my book, so I just needed to know what it was."
It's almost as bad as the people who said, "Oh, Space Marine, it's a rip-off of Gears of War, ripping off the whole Space Marine concept." It's like, what?
No.
Space
No, the
Marines-
other way around.
Yeah, 40k was around since the 80s, and if you want to go really far back, then you got Starship Troopers, which kind of originate the entire concept.
Yeah. And what is it, like, people compare, like, oh, what would happen if the Imperium came across the Empire from Star Wars, or...
Actually, let's not talk about that, because I'm doing the full research for that. And believe it or not, it's a fair fight.
Oh,
despite the fact that Stormtroopers have got ballistic skill 0.
Ballistic skill -2.
Okay, I'm doing ship to ship and then armies to armies. And yeah, the clone troopers and the stormtroopers are going to get annihilated by 40k. But the ship battle is actually fair. And I showed Remleiz this, and I've been working on it like crazy. Like, I've got like this gigantic script, or gigantic for me. I'm pretty sure it's an average script for you two.
My scripts are usually about 8 or 9 paragraphs.
This one's
Mine
1,
are
2,
around 2 to
3
3 pages.
I'm working in notes, so I don't know how long mine are. 'Cause I don't actually put them into Word, but I could probably rate mine are about a page to 2, maybe a bit more. Off for my Champions of Chaos went on a bit longer.
Fair enough.
This is about 9 paragraphs.
Okay, so that would be about 20 to 30 minutes of video then.
Yep. And of course, I'm going to be bullshitting throughout it.
Oh, yes.
You know, because I ad-lib basically every single thing that I do.
Yep, gotta have that ad-lib.
I can't help it. Like, I just do it.
Nor will we hold it against you.
Like, I would love to be sitting there reading a script, but, well, Remleiz knows why, but I can't see myself doing that.
Yeah, because when I write my scripts, I write them like I talk. My theory scripts sound like they're ad-libbed, but they're written exactly like that. I write my own ad-libs into my scripts because I know what I'm going to do.
That's amazing.
I know what my brain's going to do when it gets to that section because I have a subconscious little ding that goes off in the background. Like, oh yeah, you'd say that there, wouldn't you? So I write it in. So my scripts are all pre-ad-libbed, so they're not really ad-libbed.
Pre-libbed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think I've got not tomorrow's lore video, tomorrow as I record, or tomorrow as you watch lore video, but the lore video after that, I get very, very chatty. It's such a just looking. I compare my Lucius video to the lore script I just wrote. I haven't recorded it yet, and it's like, is this written by the same person? So I swear I'm going insane, and my lore scripts are reflecting that, and it's terrifying.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So actually, what I'll do is I'll let you know about what's going on with it once we're done here, because I don't want to spoil it for the people, because it's going to be, it's going to be weird by my standards anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I love your guys' videos.
Oh, thank you.
To be honest,
go on.
Well, it's like it's the end of September. And, I'm going to look at my analytics in 2 days' time when YouTube actually catches up, and I think my channel will have basically not quite trebled, but definitely more than doubled in size in the month of September.
That's fantastic.
Like,
Mine has like a 400% increase right now.
Well, I sat down just before I left for university. The day I moved to university, which is 2 weeks ago a day, I uploaded my 2,000 subscriber video. And as it stands, I am on, where are we? 2,871. Bear in mind, I moved here in the middle of September, not the start of the middle of September, and I've gained Just what? What has happened this month? Well, I know exactly what's happened. I started talking about Primarchs, and people seem to like talking about Primarchs.
Well, it's a hot topic right now.
Yeah, particularly when it talks about redeeming and corrupting Primarchs. People love chatting about that, and it's paid dividends. I'll say that.
Yep.
I know a few people got offended when I talked about Lehman Russ becoming a werewolf. That pisses over.
The amount of
it
comments for heretic. Oh, I don't think werewolf. I think for just straight up feral. But yes, it makes sense.
Or lichen, or whatever.
But the amount of comments that I think I actually encourage it now. Just people to shout heretic at us in the comments, because the amount of comments
have to shout #the warp did it.
On the podcast, yes, the warp did it is the quote, but on mine and Remleiz Chaos God theory, and on my I think on my corruption theory, just like heretic, report to the Inquisition, heretic. So these two heretics triggered me.
The worst part is I'm going to do that video too. The worst part is I'm going to do the all Primarchs corrupted video eventually.
It's one of those topics that's like everyone's got an opinion. Like we discussed the everyone switch sides theory, and
yes, and we all had different theories about it. Yeah,
like yours mirrored mine a bit more because you had Sanguinius and Guilliman, and you had 2 or 3 in the same place, and Remleiz I think had 1 or 2 that agree with me, but we all had different variations. And like Remleiz, you think the Loyalists will win, and admittedly I've changed my mind. I do think the Loyalists will win, but as people think the traitors will win, and everyone's got their own opinions. Like, I've had people say Khan should go to Slaanesh. I've had people say Guilliman. I've had people say you've said Sanguinius. I've had people say Manus. It's like Primarchs in like the whole 30k lore is probably the easiest to debate because there's so much up in the air because it's still being bloody written.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, the thing I think I'm going to do for my video is showing them all falling to each of the gods and how it would affect their behaviors.
Oh, so sort of like if Lionel Johnson fell to Khorne, this would happen.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
That's a nice touch. I like that.
That way,
I get it done quick before one of the comments nicks it. Yeah, very. Because mine is just that, yeah.
But does anyone fall to Malal?
He doesn't exist. Shut up about it.
Actually, I'll have you know. No, I'm just fucking with you guys.
Or the Horned Rat?
Wrong universe.
I got a comment about that, and I had no idea what the person was talking about. I had to look it up, and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, you don't play fantasy, do you? You've never."
I'm like,
got
what
fantasy.
what the hell is this?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The minor kit in fantasy. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I feel like actually, I had a comment, Remleiz. It said, "Are you taking 40k Theory's job?" It's like, no.
No, 40k Theories is here to stay.
40k Theories is going nowhere. If anything, I'm just riding his coattails and doing my putting my own spin.
You're my loyal servitor.
Yeah.
I'm glad none of you caught that. I'm sure somebody in the comments.
No, I heard that. I didn't say anything, but I heard that. Then again, the amount. To be fair, we're already condemned for what you made the comments about my Tau Commander's leg joint, so we're already doomed on that front anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I am not gonna lie. That was the funniest shit you've ever said.
I don't say a lot of funny things. That's fair.
Well, actually, I see you more as like Remleiz is crazed and theoretical, and it works. You're more, as your name suggests, tactical, and you sit there and you tell things.
I'm a physicist.
I'm chaotic.
Sarcastic physicist. Yeah, I'm a sarcastic physicist. That's me in a nutshell. So science and sarcasm goes hand in hand.
I love it though.
Yeah, because actually, I really want to go back and do another science video, sort of like because I did a video a while ago now about could bolt guns exist? How would the plasma gun work? How would
oh my god
a rail gun?
I tell you now, bolt guns in real life are absolute shite. I've been doing a series on that with
Fiora,
and we basically bolt gun was absolutely useless because the barrel would be completely fucked after like a few shots.
Yeah, because like I did my science theory, I was like, oh, I could do loads about this, and then I realized you were doing men at arms, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, never.
Damn it, Remleiz, you son of a bitch! Now everybody's gonna think we're copying you.
But it's like also Fiora is a far better physicist and chemist and researcher than me. It's like, oh right, yeah, that's how Tau shit works.
Well, she had to go and actually went into like a military quartermaster and master of arms to actually work out how some of these guns actually work. That's how, she actually goes to a military base.
Yeah, I had a comment tell me, if you want to do this, you should go and serve in the military. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, shut up, rat.
And on that note.
And on that note, indeed. Any last remarks or things to discuss before we wrap this up? Because it's nearly 8 o'clock and I'm going to get very hungry if I don't, and I get very ratty when I'm hungry.
Yeah, I need to go and have something to eat as well because I'm absolutely starving.
Oh my god.
So yes,
no, this is a lot of fun.
Oh, this has been brilliant. Any final remarks, rants, or comments for the day?
Hashtag hype ship sex.
No! You son of a bitch!
Hashtag fuck off Remleiz.
But that's just me.
Okay, no, I do want to say this. Though our videos are very similar in title, none of our videos are copying off of the other.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I made the theories I make are completely independent of Remleiz, and the lore that I do, like I'd completely forgotten that Arch existed when I started doing lore videos. And people have been comparing me to him and Volts, which was like, what? No,
they're the
stop.
same person.
Volts Terror and Arch Warhammer.
Loads of people seem to think I'm Ed from Volts Terror. I was like, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I know who Volts and Arch are. I don't really watch loads of their stuff, but I know who they are. It's like, oh yeah, you're like because someone said that you and me are like two of the best lore YouTubers aside from as well, along with Arch. And someone said, oh, I've abandoned Arch because he's a bigot or something, and so you're filling that void for me. And I'm like, oh.
I would never say Arch is a bigot. He's an anti-feminist, but not a bigot. I love him. He's awesome. Actually, I love all YouTubers except one, but I love all. No, okay, 3.
I tell you, Actually, just talking about YouTube, is like, would it not be one thing I wish that would happen a bit more is for Thunder, Zegra, and like the other TTS crew members to upload their own stuff, because like I don't think Thunder's uploaded in ages, and it'd be really cool.
His new Dawn of War video recently.
It'd just be cool for like maybe I don't know quite how good his editing is, but for some like maybe like non-canonic shorts on Thunder's channel, Kitten's ramblings or something. That would be quite cool.
I would actually love to have Cultist Chan talk to Kitten.
Yeah, and I'd love like if I could string a lore story together. Like I've got this idea of like having an overarching story going on. Kind of. Have you ever watched Shoddycast?
No.
Yes.
You know how like the storyteller has an overarching story going on behind what he's doing. I kind of would like to do that, and have an overarching thing in the background, and have it running into like various people from across the universe, but I'm not well enough connected to do that. I don't think it would be hilarious. Just do a theory about the Inquisition, and then or do a lore video on the Inquisition, and then get sufficiently pelted by an Inquisitor for divulging the secrets of the Inquisition, and then get taken away on a black ship and get rescued by a custodian, and then do a video on the custodians or something like that. But that's never going to happen.
Never say never. You can do it. I believe in you.
To be fair, actually, my goal for 2016 was actually to create. I did a things I want to do in 2016 video, and I said I want to create this like hub where the big YouTubers gets a bunch of smaller YouTubers, and we like kind of think the Legion of Gamza, but with a podcast and a bunch of other stuff that just like allows the smaller channels to get some publicity, to work with us, do videos alongside us, come on the podcast or whatever. And
I'd like to do that with some of the bigger YouTubers.
Are we not big enough for you?
Bigger.
Well, actually, I can't say that. Remleiz can say that. I can't say that.
Maybe we can ask some of the guys like Alpha Beta one day to come on and join us.
Yeah, the amount of comments that said "Get Alpha on the podcast." It was like, or "Get Arch on," "Get Alpha on," "Get this person on."
I remember when I was doing my Whispers of Heresy series, and I actually had Thunder and Alpha on, and people were actually asking you should get Carl of the Ranged on as well. And I was like, oh god, that'd be absolutely hilarious.
He'd fit right in on this one. I have to say, he'd fit right in.
But if we got Thunder, we have to make sure he doesn't constantly disconnect.
Has he got bad lag?
No, there was an issue with the Whispers of Heresy episode we recorded. Literally, like every 2 minutes, he would disconnect from the call.
Oh, that's sad.
I'll tell you the one person
Like, we ended up making a blooper video of it called The Ballad of the Disconnecting Kitten.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
That's awesome.
Because basically...
I tell you, the one... The one person I really want to get on is Zegram. I really want to speak... I just want Magnus. I want to say I talk to Magnus the Red. Because no one can be Magnus again now. It has to be Zegram.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh my god, I would love that.
Yeah, so Remleiz, see how many strings you can pull and bribes you can hand off, and then we'll see how we do.
I'll see what I can do.
And you can't use my body as a bartering tool.
To be honest, Zegram and Alpha like eggs anyway. That's actually a canon thing. They love eggs.
Okay.
I'll send them some eggs. Well, that killed the conversation.
Right. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of episode 2 of Adeptus Podcastus. It's been nearly 2 hours of absolute pure joy, and it has been a pleasure. So that is the end for today. There'll be links in the description to the trailers if you want to watch the trailers. There should be trailers that have gone up on Alexis and Remleiz's channel, and over to their channels as well, because you're going to go and subscribe to them now, because if you haven't, well, you might miss out on the next one, because the next podcast is going over to Alexis's channel in 2 weeks' time. So make sure that you're subscribed and you're checking out our channels for the trailers, and you can go over and watch that. It will be well worth your time if you like this sort of nonsense. So thank you very, very much for listening. If you're still here, then I commend your willpower and putting up with our shit.
Praise be to the Emperor.
Or whatever. And remember, the warp did it. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis.
This is Remleiz from 40k Theories.
And I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love ya. Bye.
Thank you very much and goodbye.
Bye bye.